Mailbag time here on the Broncos Breakdown. I'm going to answer questions that you guys asked during our live show, which is Tuesday at 4 o'clock Central, 3 o'clock Mountain. So tune in on future Tuesdays to be on the next Broncos Mailbag. So with that being said, let's get into it with our first question right here. Coming in via Super Chat from Chef204. Dalvin Cook on a 1-year, $1.4 million deal to start. Javonte Williams on IR. I do think Javonte Williams will start the season on IR most likely. Dalvin Cook, $1.4 million. I think the vet minimum is going to have it higher for a guy like Dalvin Cook than 1.4. But honestly, with what Denver is sizing up to do in 2023 and how Sean Payton wants to run this offense, yeah, I'll bring in Dalvin Cook. We can actually show you Dalvin Cook stats because I think Dalvin Cook, that with Samaje Perine, that's a much more comfortable running back room I can get behind rather than just throwing everything into Samaje Perine's basket and a rookie to complement him. Dalvin Cook over the last 4 years, it's funny, we're talking about an 1,100-yard, 8-touchdown performer last season, yet everyone in Minnesota seems to want to move on from him. Might be because he only averaged 4.4 yards a carry, which is a career low for him, but he has been somewhat regressing since his 2019-2020 season. You can see him kind of getting worse and worse by the season. But hey, if we're looking for a Band-Aid to bridge us until Javonte Williams returns, split the carries between Cook and Perine, tell me that's not more fun than just Perine and, no offense, but Demaria Crockett or Tyler Beatty. So yeah, I don't mind the idea of signing Dalvin Cook. Malcolm Horton, what's going on? What cornerbacks can the Broncos target? Okay, I'm going to assume we're talking NFL draft here. So with that being said, let me give you 3 cornerbacks I like. Cam Smith, cornerback out of South Carolina. He's got freakishly long arms. Pros, he gets to a ton of pass breakups and interceptions. Cons, his biggest strength is also his weakness, right? Kind of like Michael Scott. It leads to a lot of pass interferences and flags being thrown. I like Cam Smith out of South Carolina. I love Julius Brents from Kansas State. Got a ton of experience. He just got great size, similar to Cam Smith. Needs to improve his ball skills. But when you play in the Big 12, they're going to throw the ball a ton, and he held his own. And a third one, Tyreek Stevenson out of Miami. The guy is just a nasty physical corner from the U. Little smaller than the 2 previous players, but those would be my 3 cornerbacks for Denver to target. Broncos fan for life. I saw rumors of Danielle Hunter being on the trading block. Reunion with George Payton. Okay, so Hunter and Payton do go back to Minnesota, which I do want to sort of nip in the bud right now. Just because a player played with the Vikings when George Payton was there should not automatically mean, well, that means he's going to come to Denver. But Hunter with the Vikings over the last 4 seasons, up and down moments. He missed the entire 2020 season due to an injury. Last year, 10.5 sacks. He got off to a really great start. And then he sort of fell off a little bit. Now, Minnesota's in a weird spot where with their new GM entering his 2nd season, I think he's sort of looking to retool a little bit and move on from some bigger contracts. Do not be shocked if Hunter or Cook is cut. And as a result, yeah, the Broncos could be interested. And honestly, I wouldn't be opposed because for the ceiling Hunter has, right? 14.5 sacks, 14.5 sacks, 6 sacks in 7 games. Like, he was on pace for 4 straight seasons of double-digit sacks. Yeah, I would not be all that against adding Hunter to this pass rushing rotation, especially when you consider that Denver cannot bank on Randy Gregory to play a full season. So sound off. Should the Broncos add another edge rusher? Give me a Y for yes or N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's show, so chime in down below in the comment section. Maxwell, what's going on? Should we sign a decent, not expensive cornerback? PS2 is the best in the league, but we need more. But we need more than just one elite cornerback. Possible CB2 who won't cost too much or let Damari Mathis do. So basically, I think what Maxwell is asking is, should they sign another cornerback, right? That's kind of the nuts and bolts here. I saw Bryce Callahan is still a free agent. He's a slot corner, so that's not really what Denver needs. Outside corners, I'm not thinking of a ton out there on the market still. So with that being said, I think they're going to turn their attention to the draft. I don't think they're going to add another veteran corner. I will be very upset, I'll be honest, if one of their first 2 picks is not corner, because they are putting all of their eggs in the Pat Surtain, Damari Mathis basket as your 2 outside corners. There is no depth behind those 2 players. And I'm not even sure if Damari Mathis is ready to take on a starting role. So I would like to see them target corner early in this year's draft. Larry No Filter, would you draft Hendon Hooker in the 3rd if he is available? Hendon Hooker went to my alma mater. I am a big Hendon Hooker stan. I'm a big believer in Hendon Hooker. And honestly, if you think he's going to be all that great, then a little bit, yeah. Because would you rather find a quarterback for the future in round 3 or hope that you nail one of these 3rd-round draft picks that could have a ceiling of Baron Browning or Nick Bonito, some edge rushers that come to mind? So if Hendon Hooker is there, and if Denver believes that he is a good quarterback, then I would do the deal. I would make the pick. If Sean Payton and George Payton actually don't have that high of a grade on Hendon Hooker, then 3rd round's too early. But if they do like him, I'd rather them see him take Hendon Hooker, who unfortunately is a bit older, coming off an ACL injury, but he can sit for a season behind Russell Wilson. And if things don't go well for Russ in 2023, it'll be Jarrett Stidham versus Hendon Hooker as your quarterback battle for 2024. Now, when it comes to the best Broncos coverage out there, don't only subscribe, but if you're already subscribed, turn on those notifications. Hit the notification bell, click all, and that way, anytime we go live on the channel, breaking news happens, rumors, all that good stuff, you do not miss a beat when you are subscribed. Ricky Bobby. Javonte and a 4th for Derrick Henry. Ooh, spicy ideas here. The Titans say no. I'll start with that. The Titans absolutely say no. I don't think they move on from Derrick Henry without getting a 2nd in return. Now, Javonte Williams could be a future back for them, but could you imagine as a new Titans GM trying to sell your fan base on, we just traded away the biggest icon in team history for a 4th-round pick and a running back coming off a major knee injury? I would not be all that opposed, although I don't think Derrick Henry's got too many years left in the tank, but come on. An opportunity to get there. Actually, no, I'm going to pass. So I think you'd only have Derrick Henry for 1 season. And I would like to see Javonte Williams come back from this injury and be a future player on this team. So, as dumb as it may sound right now, I think I actually would pass. So, I might regret those words. Next question coming in from BS86. If offensive tackle Dwand Jones out of Ohio State is in the 3rd, do you think the Broncos pick him up? Got Mike McGlinchey at right tackle, so you'd be looking for a new left tackle. Do they see a long-term future with Garrett Bowles? Or are they quietly shopping him more or less, and if a good offer comes in, they could flip him in the near future, whether that's this year or after next season, because they don't think that Garrett Bowles will definitively be on this team past 2023, do not rule out them trying to find his replacement in this year's draft, because Garrett Bowles, for starters, probably won't be ready to go at the start of the season. So you could be looking to see, hey, could Jones be a future left tackle? And we also save a lot of money and move on from Bowles after 2023. Something to keep an eye on. Do I think they will pick him up? I don't, but I don't think it's something we can rule out. Vonnie Mildog. Who is the dream pick for Denver at 67? Ooh. McCullough, can you whip up that Notre Dame edge rusher? That's what I want to go with here. My dream pick, or who do you think the dream pick is? I mean, I'm not in Denver's war room, and they have been airtight this offseason under Sean Payton, but I love Isaiah Foskey from Notre Dame. 11 sacks, 1 forced fumble last year, 45 tackles. He's got a 2nd to 3rd round grade on him. If he slips into early round 3, I just think if you're looking to try and find some edge rushers for the future, Isaiah Foskey, even though you've invested so much of that position with Nick Bonito last year, pick 64, and Randy Gregory in free agency. But the truth is, you still have not nailed it down yet. And you've only moved on from Von Miller and Bradley Chubb, your number 1 and 2 edge rushers in the last 2 years. So yeah, if Foskey is there, that is sort of my dream pick for the Broncos at pick 67. Balancing in realistic options of who could be there, of course. Now, you let me know who your dream draft pick is, right? Don't give me a round 1 guy, but I will accept round 2 players because Denver is so early in round 3. Who knows? It's the NFL draft. Crazy stuff happens all the time. Someone could slip out of round 2 and fall to Denver in round 3. Long John Lenny. Predict where Jeudy and Sutton will be playing week 1. I'm going to go Denver. I do believe that and it's funny because at different points this offseason, I thought it would be either Sutton getting traded, then Jeudy getting traded, then Sutton getting traded. But Sean Payton said, we do not want to move on from either of these players, which I don't think actually is a concrete statement of we're keeping them here. I think that's more a way for them to shoo away the rumors to not make Jeudy or Sutton upset. But the fact is, they came close to trading both players at various points in the last calendar year. So for that reason, you can't quite rule out a trade, but as of right now, it feels more likely than unlikely that both will return to Denver in 2023. Last question coming in from Russell's 13th bathroom. Would you have made the Allen Robinson trade that the Steelers got? Basically what that trade was the Rams traded Allen Robinson away for $5 million. They swapped 7th-round picks, which is meaningless. So don't even include that, honestly. And Pittsburgh ate $5 million of Allen Robinson's remaining contract. So the Rams traded Allen Robinson for $5 million. Would I have traded Allen Robinson for $5 million? I feel like Courtland Sutton, unfortunately, is on the Allen Robinson career path, which is, as he gets older, struggling to separate. So, no, I'd rather not see them add Allen Robinson just for the sake of adding a name, looking back and going, well, it wasn't our money, but, yeah, he never actually was much of an impact player. So I'll pass on Allen Robinson for Denver. That's going to do it for us on today's show. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have not subscribed, quick friendly reminder to go ahead and do so and never miss a thing when it comes to your Broncos.